Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of October 5th through the 11th. And during that time, we will have a full moon that comes in on the 7th. And then, of course, after we'll have the waning gibbous. So that full moon energy can be heightened emotions. Sometimes people can feel overwhelmed and anxious, maybe a little snappy and irritable. You might have changes in your sleeping patterns. It's a good time to practice patience and calm. If you're like me, though, I mean, the full moon is a great time for me. I feel super energetic. It doesn't affect me in a negative way. I don't feel anxious. I just feel hyper, I guess. So keep those moon energies in mind. We then move into the waning gibbous, which is a good time. It's like that let go of all that energy. Good time for self-reflection and rebirth. A good time to make positive changes and get rid of bad habits and negative thinking. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to bring love into the situation. All right, let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on with this week. As I'm shuffling, my fun reminder this week is that you get out into nature. So take a walk in the woods, find a park or somewhere that has a really lovely view. Maybe even take a drive, discover somewhere that you've never been before, a new park, a new place to hike, that sort of thing. So, but just find a place to really stop and connect with the miracle of nature. You might want to study a tree for longer than you might normally do, a plant or a flower. If you do gardening, maybe watch birds in your yard or somewhere and feed some birds. Go find some ducks to feed. Anyway, just get out into nature a little bit, especially when that energy is so high during the full moon. It's just a good time to kind of release some of that. If you can get barefoot, of course, get some grounding in. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into this reading. October 5th through the 11th. Bring love into the situation. Your present energy right now is you've got your head down and your heart at work on something here with the Eight of Pentacles. So, it looks like you're just kind of plugging away, working really hard at something, and that's a great thing. And sometimes, if you're bringing love into your work, that's a great way to work. I always see this guy as being so focused on what he's doing that if someone was yelling his name, that he probably wouldn't even hear. It's that kind of work where you're just got that focus, and it's good. You feel like it just the whole world melts away, right? Your current situation is the Magician. So the Magician, as you're hard at work, the Magician is like, all right, we've got this down now. How would you like to move forward? Look around at your life, and what would you like to make changes on and adjustments, and which element would you like to use to do that? So, of course, the Magician is offering up all of the elements there for you to make that decision. How do you want to move forward, and what kind of positive change would you like to make in your life at this time? At the root of your situation are all the choices that you have. So, of course, you've got the choices here on the table of all of those elements. It looks like you have lots of choices, and that's good. I think that choice is a luxury. It's something I always say that if you have many choices, that's a luxury. The more the world opens up to you and the more ability that you have to make different decisions, it's definitely a luxury. And you need to, and that's a good thing to kind of be grateful to, that you have the luxury of choice. What is just behind you is the Page of Cups. So, good humor, definitely already open heart, loving, into the situation. It's almost like the love is kind of pushing you to do these things, to do the work. You've got all these choices here in these cups as well. So, but you've got a good sense of humor going on, and just kind of a good nature. And so, and I feel like love is in the situation already. So I love that. What is on your mind this week is maybe you're feeling a little bit stuck here with this 7. Now we have 2, or I'm sorry, with this 8. And now we do have 2 8s on the table. So you may want to look up angel number 88, see what that might mean for you. But you're feeling a little bit stuck in your head a little bit. And it might just be something that's on your mind that you do need to release. This could be a good time during this full moon to release something that has kind of been bothering you. But and remember to bring love into the situation. Sometimes if you have something bothering you and you're kind of ruminating about it over and over, how can you love that thing into not bothering you anymore? So is it something about forgiveness? Is it there could be so many things, just a plethora of things that might be just going on in your head. But remember to try to apply love to that situation if you can, to let that go so that it's not getting in the way of your focus of work and the good things that you're working on right now. What is just ahead of you is the Empress. So that's awesome. This is a card of creativity, but it's also, if it can be a card of pregnancy. So I do need to put that into mind. This for some of you, it could be that you're thinking about, pregnancy, having a baby, bring another child in. It could be about baby two. It could be about baby three or four for some of you. Um, I'm a mother of four. I met another mother of four the other day, and it just cracks me up, especially when I see someone who so much younger. My kids are adults now, but seeing people with young kids, and I just think, oh, how did I do that? How in the world did? But I got through it somehow. But I see them, and I don't even know where that energy comes from. So, but this is also, I have to mention that it could be about pregnancy, of course, because it's that sort of creation, but also it could just be that you are thinking about something long term. So this could be anything that you're putting your foot forward to, whether it be a job situation that you're going to commit to long term, purchasing a house, making those decisions that are just longer term decisions that aren't something that's affecting this week, but it's something that's affecting your life months and years down the road. So keep that in mind. That is just ahead of you this week. In your advice position is you're feeling a little bit like you against the world, and maybe it's you against um maybe this idea or this something that you're wanting to commit to. As you do, you're kind of the cheese that's standing alone, and you may have people to convince around you that, yeah, this is a great idea. We also, that puts another seven, so now we've got two eights on the table and these two sevens. So look up angel number 77, see what that might mean for you. But because that's in your advice position, is kind of hold your ground. I think is really what that's saying, is whatever idea that you're having is kind of hold your ground. You may not win in the end, but hold your ground for now. Let's at least be putting the arguments forward to, I just think that's to stand your ground right there. What is beyond your control this week is some judgment. So you may have some judgment of others about something that you are holding your ground on, and that's okay. It's fine. I what other people think of you is none of your business. That's what I always say, right? So there may be judgment, and you may be judged. This may be you judging as well, but there seems like there might be some actual judgment that comes in because you're holding your ground on something. It's okay. It's okay. Again, you've got the magician asking you, how do you want to move forward here? And you need to at least partially choose that cup, because you need to bring love into whatever this situation might be for you. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Six of Cups. So lots of cups showing up here in abundance, lots of love around you anyway. No matter what's going on, you've got people around you that love you, and people from your past. The Six of Cups is a lot of times about reminiscing. This could be about siblings that are around you that love you. You've got a good support system, all these cups that are around you, and again, the luxury of choice. So I do love that for you. Let's see what is in your outcome position is the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to say this is a very lucky week for you. You've got the Magician on your side, you've got this Wheel of Fortune on your side. I would play the lottery this week if I were you. I would bring love into whatever situation that you're feeling kind of like the cheese that stands alone. Just make sure you're putting love into that. Or also a situation where you're feeling stuck in your mind, where there might just be some situation that's in your mind that you just need to clear out. You need to clear it out in whatever way you need to. Again, if you can get out in nature this week, it might be amplified a little bit this week because of the full moon, and that's just how that energy goes. What is hidden from you this week is the Star card. So this is the card of direction or guidance or being on course. This is a card of clarity and really, kind of reading the signs of the universe. So that might not be something that you're very open to. And maybe hopefully this comes into a better view next week for you, because it seems like maybe there is kind of a fog where you're not able to see the entire full picture this week. Again, you've got something that's on your mind, and you do need to clear it out, but you're also having a lucky week too. It's kind of a split. Like you've kind of got it, there's just some ups and downs for you this week, I guess is the best way to put it. But you are surrounded by love. You've got these cups around you. Very lucky this week. Again, if there's a contest or something that you do that you need to drop your name in a bucket, I would do it, because you've definitely got the wheel of fortune on your side and the magician there. So whatever this is for you, I hope you can get that worked out. It's not, here's, I'm trying to see if there's an element. No, we've got all the elements on the table. Again, with those, with the 88 and the 77, I would look up those as far as angel numbers. And then I think you probably need to be thinking about what this Empress card represents for you. Again, it's something long term that you're moving forward to this week, just a bigger long term decision about something. It doesn't have to be actual pregnancy, but kind of a thought that you're giving birth to that's something that would take a long time to come to fruition. So, a big commitment there. All right, let's see what the Soul Oracle deck says to Sagittarius this week. Embrace your power. Not a, for some reason, this Soul Oracle card always takes me to this advice card, almost 9 times out of 10. So embracing your power means just kind of stand your ground there. If you have an idea and maybe people around you are like, that's not the best idea. Maybe they're just not seeing it your way yet. Again, bring love into the situation and hold your ground a little bit, because it seems like it might be a good idea. Maybe not, but let's stick to it for this week, right? Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care, Sagittarius. Self-care. And I'm going to go back to this. When, maybe you have an idea, and here, listen, we all know Sagittarius, you guys can be, a little bit spontaneous, sometimes a little bit flighty, and sometimes we're like, wait, is that the best idea? So make sure that this love around you, and you are surrounded by people that love you, make sure that you are taking that in the right way, that they are thinking about you in this way, in a protective way, because they do love you. So keep that in mind. Anyway, let's see. Self-care for Sagittarius. And the card says invitation. The words you speak are an invitation to life, a request to bring energy into form. Choose your words carefully. So the words you speak are an invitation to life. So yeah, I definitely, that's something I live by. I know it drives my husband crazy because I'm constantly telling him that we do speak things into existence. Our words are completely magical. So, things that you say do come about. So you have to be very, very careful about the things that come out of your mouth. This is especially sticky. We have this argument in our family, and it's not only with me and my husband, some of the other couples as well, where all of us girls are very positive about, like, if we get a cold, okay, that we're very positive about speaking our wellness into existence, where the guys are going, I'm sick, I didn't feel good, and all those things that men can typically do. And honestly, us women bounce back very quickly. I mean, we just went through this. My husband and I both had a cold same day. I think mine lasted a couple of days. I was very positive. I did all the things that you do, extra vitamins, making sure I was hydrated, all those things, but also really speaking my wellness into existence, meditating on it, speaking it out loud. He didn't, and I'm not kidding you. We are now 2.5 weeks later, and he's still coughing. Just saying. And he's still complaining about it. And I keep telling him, just speak it into existence. So, anyway, that little story, I'm sure he's not a Sagittarius, so he won't hear this, but I'm kind of telling on him. But the words you speak are an invitation to life. And I truly, truly believe that. And so do my girls. My daughters believe this. My daughter-in-law believes this. We had a big discussion about it. So you have to think about that. The things that you say, you speak into existence. So speak those positive things and win. Bring that wheel of fortune about. If there's some way in which you want to change your life, speak those things out loud, write them on paper. 9 times out of 10, that's what makes things happen, is we are literally imagining this, right? Anyway, Sagittarius, I wish you the best of luck with all of this. Please please make that decision about how you want to move forward in the next long-term period in your life. Do you want to do it with love? And in what ways does that manifest for you? So I really appreciate your time here with me today. If there's something you'd like to share with me and you're comfortable doing so, of course, drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and I really, really appreciate that. But more importantly, it'll help you find me next week where you can come back and let's see where this story goes. I'm excited to see it. So thanks so much, Sagittarius, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.